We are officially starting season 3 today. I can barely contain my excitement. It's Battlestar Galactica Day. The last episode changed everything. And by last episode, I mean the season 2 finale. The Resistance was very interesting, and I had a great time with that. But that finale turned the whole show on its head. Moving into this episode entitled Occupation, I don't have to theorize what that's about. We know it's Cylon-occupied New Caprica, and I'm really hoping that shows up on the screen, simply because it would amuse me after all the times we saw Cylon-occupied Caprica. So I haven't spent much time speculating as to what's going to happen this season. Obviously, the Resistance is going to... I don't really know what the Resistance is going to do. They're fighting in their own way. At some point, Admiral Adama, Hilo, Tyrell, the fleet that was able to jump... Did I say Tyrell? By Tyrell, I meant Apollo, Commander Adama, aka Commander Apollo. At some point, the fleet's gonna come back and help free the Resistance, right? I assume this episode will be able to at least check in with them and see what's going on and how they're feeling and what they're up to. And I'm sure I could find tons of other things to talk about. The political side of the show, the new babies, Hera and Tyrell and Callie's baby, whose name I have written down, but I don't have it in my head. But we just gotta watch the show. And I'm not delaying anymore. Let's experience season 3, episode 1 of Battlestar Galactica Occupation for the very first time. That was a mouthful. I probably won't do that for every episode this season. Whew.
Be my guest. Go down and cat around with all the men.
Saul, I want you.
I'm going to try and give Ellen a clean slate this season and maybe have a little hope. She's grown over the last year, right? I like to believe people can grow and improve and change. What is this? What's happening? Is this torture or love? Honestly, I can't tell the difference sometimes. Oh. This is a beautiful song. Oh no. Is someone locked up? Is this Colonel Tigh? Is Tigh locked up for maybe his role in the Resistance? It is Ellen. Okay, so who's Ellen with? If Tigh's locked up. Oh, and I think Admiral Adama making plans. Struggling to make plans. Because this is pretty much the most hopeless situation they've been in. He looks a lot more like an old, weary sea captain with that beard. Ah, Brother Cavill. Or whatever his name is, or Cylon number is.
Even some carrots.
Is Laban trying to play house with Starbuck? I love how the angle is there.
We thank you for the bounties.
Subtly shifting. She doesn't seem proud of herself. I have questions.
I need a knife. Thank you.
This is weird.
You're welcome.
Has she been like beaten into submission, or is she playing along, waiting for her moment?
I must say I quite enjoyed that.
I'm so glad. When do I get what I want?
Oh, she's
I
bargaining.
believe that's happening right now. We gotta get you processed. Take an hour or so. Bureaucracy must be served.
So that's what Ellen wanted. See, I gave her a clean slate. So, I mean, she's not proud of what she did, but she was working to get the man she actually loves out of prison. Questionable, but, you know, they're in a desperate situation, and I feel for her and Tigh at the moment. That's what I'm going to go with.
What did they do to you?
It's all right. I'm out. That's all that matters.
So what is their mark?
Now.
Why? I'm just afraid it's not going to work. Yes. Ooh. Heck yeah.
You look so lovely tonight.
Oh, that's my Starbuck. That's our Starbuck. She has the opportunity to overdo it. She's going to do it, but you can't really, it's hard to blame her. I'm sure they have some kind of resurrection ship in the area. I mean, after all, it has been a year. She's going to sit down and finish her meal because she's a boss. Don't forget it. The napkin.
We've had no contact with Galactica since it left 4 months ago. But I refuse to believe that Adama has abandoned us.
No way, yeah.
In order for the insurgency to have a more meaningful impact, we need to strike a high-profile target. The colonial government under President Gaius Baltar functions in name only.
If we're bringing the word of God, then it follows that we should employ any means necessary to do so. Any means. Execute Baltar.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, 6 is not letting you anywhere near Gaius.
If we'd killed him at the beginning, it might have worked. But now most humans think of him as a traitor and would actually cheer his death.
We need to stop being butchers.
The entire point of coming here
Yeah, Boomer.
was to start a new way of life.
Is it really worth it, Caprica? Is the love of that man really
She's literally
worth
calling her
losing all
Caprica.
of this?
If you ever experienced love, you wouldn't have to ask.
Wow. I was kind of wondering, what is the status of Caprica and Gaius's relationship?
Recent weeks, we've been gaining access to some very important documents from a source. No one knows who this mysterious benefactor is.
Little baby. Nicholas?
Looks like Mommy's gonna get some sleep tonight after all.
Nicholas Stephen Tyrrell.
Get back in a couple hours.
One of these days, you're just not gonna come back, are you? Nick will never know his father.
You can't blame her for feeling the way she feels, man. But I hope she's wrong. The question really is, what kind of world do you want your baby growing up in? Is it worth fighting for? Then fight.
The eye is gone. Ripped it right out onto the floor. Picked it up and showed it to me.
Wow.
Hard-boiled egg.
Gross.
Security plans for the graduation ceremony at the new Caprica Police Academy.
Right out of the ministry files. Where are you getting this stuff? Who's your source?
I have no idea. The source won't tell me what their name is.
Gaius Baltar.
Yes, sir. I think we can get a shot at him, too. The problem is, it's going to be tough avoiding human casualties.
Don't avoid them. Send a message. You work with the Cylons, you're a target. No boundaries for the Cylons. There's no boundaries for us.
While I don't necessarily agree there's no boundaries for us, I'm not strictly opposed to assassinating Gaius Baltar in this instance. Is she free to go now, or is she just waiting for the new iteration? Asked and answered immediately.
5 times now.
5 times. To what end, my man?
Thank you for putting up with me.
Put it down, Kara.
She was gonna do it again, huh?
It's never gonna happen.
Of course it's gonna happen. You're gonna hold me in your arms. You're gonna embrace me.
What?
You're gonna tell me that you love me.
Why is he trying so hard to Stockholm Syndrome Starbuck?
Be nice if you join me.
I don't see a scenario where she ever loves Leoben.
Either way, you're spending the night with me.
Wow, that was a good line. I'm glad we are checking in on this side of the story.
All Vipers, break now, now, now!
They're training.
This is the CAG. Abort maneuver.
CAG, wow.
The board acknowledged. You're approaching bingo fuel anyway. Bring your birds back home.
Belay that.
Ooh.
Strike my last. Stand by. 16 times now, sir.
Have we got it right yet?
Next one will be 17, won't it?
Considering how long our pilots have been
In the air, I suggest we recall the birds and scrub the training exercise. We can't do this in a training scenario.
I don't know how we're supposed to do any of this crap at half strength.
Collision! We've had a collision! Galactic attack! I'm declaring an emergency, requesting priority landing for 2 bent birds.
Pull them in. You're weak, soft, mentally and physically. You had 4 months to get your act together. Get your men ready, or I'll find someone who can.
Hard words. What they're doing is incredibly difficult. Near impossible, I'm sure. But Adama's right. Like, you have to... I don't know.
He's a soldier, Chief. Not the first time we've sent a soldier on a one-way mission. You know that, don't you?
Ever since they killed Nora, I got nothing to live for. I'm committed.
I don't doubt it for a second.
Some things you just don't do, Colonel. Not even in war.
Well, maybe you'll feel different when you're sitting in detention.
Do you feel guilty about leaving the people behind on New Caprica?
I don't do guilt.
When you put me in the cell, I sat in here for weeks, just consumed with rage at all the things that had happened to me. And at some point I realized it was all just guilt.
choice. I could either move forward or stay in the past. The only way to move forward was to forgive myself.
Once again, Sharon's bringing the words of encouragement that Adama needs to
Two of our
hear.
pilots almost get killed because they've been in the
Fascinating.
cockpit for 11 hours.
Oh, 11 hours? Wow, okay. They should have probably taken a break.
He's right. You are soft.
She brings harsh and honest words often as well.
Got it in your head that your father's the soldier. And you sure don't want to be like him. But you are. One of the reasons I married you.
Oh, they're like married. Whoa. Okay.
Okay, it's working. I think.
Lots of nothing on the wireless as usual.
They are there. This opening up, getting communication with Galactica is like the key thing. Come on, come on, come on.
I'm picking something up. Oh yeah, we got a link to the ground.
I've got a signal of hope. We're coming for you.
We made contact with the ground. Colonel
Oh,
Price spoke to the...
frack, we needed the win.
It's gonna be okay.
We have a little bit of hope. Don't expect everyone to have faith and confidence that it's going to be okay. But Adama, freaking Admiral Adama, has to have that confidence or else we are doomed. This is a good step in the right direction.
I know I haven't lived a model life.
Wow, he's actually praying now.
It's time for the graduation ceremony.
You know, in my heart, I don't really want him to be assassinated.
I won't be going.
Good. I don't really want that to be Duck's legacy either,
Security concern.
to be honest. He must be the source because he is running to call it off.
The strike.
Stick with the plan.
Nah, frick. I was like, Tyrell probably won't see it now because he missed his chance. Oh no. Okay, I thought we were having a sniper situation. Not on board.
Hey, Duck.
Yeah, he doesn't really want to talk to you, but surely Duck here will see Gaius isn't there and call it off on his own.
Congratulations,
Do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
See you soon, Nora.
Oh gosh. That was a way to end the first episode of season 3. I know most of those people in that room were Cylons and people who chose to side with the Cylons. No. We're all getting covered in ick in every episode, aren't we? I really enjoyed this first episode of season 3. It just felt good that we're in a story arc that is taking its time, that we're not rushing through the Cylon or the new Caprica occupation. The big rewarding thing, the grounds team made contact with the Galactica, and we can finally get after 4 months, we can finally get communication rolling again, which means we can actually start planning and laying a little hope. This is very foundational towards what I'm hoping will be an overall extensive arc of the season. I really don't know what this season is going to bring past this fight that we're having over New Caprica to release and free ourselves of the occupation. It really saddens me that I don't know what the overall number of the colonies are. If it was in the intro, I missed it. But I know we've lost at least 10,000 from where we were before the Cylon occupation, and that's terrifying. We have at least 200 plus humans joining the Cylons as the new Caprica police force, including Jammer, as we saw at the end of the Resistance. And that's like terrifying and heartbreaking. I do have a little bit of compassion for them because you're in this situation, and it's easy to feel like, well, this is the quickest path to peace, right? Like they're not. I can kind of see it, even though I disagree with it. Duck going in as a suicide bomber, though, oh, that hurts. I don't like that. I'm sad about it. I don't think that would have been worth it, even if Gaius had been present. I can understand Tigh wanting to take out Gaius And I'm not necessarily opposed to that in and of itself. I think that could kind of be something that gives the people hope. I think at the very least, once we're free of the occupation, he's not president anymore. He's lost the right to lead our people. But like the suicide bomber angle, no, that wasn't the way. That really is horrible. It was interesting to see Adama and Apollo and their interactions back on Galactica. They're both desperate and in many ways have given up hope as we kind of meet them. And Galactica, Admiral Adama, maybe pushing a little too hard. I mean, however many hours it was, like 11 plus hours, right? Going into that 17th stretch. That is too long for anyone to be doing anything without a quality break. Like, they're crammed in those cockpits for that amount of time. That's horrible. Apollo was right in that they didn't, that Adama was pushing him too hard. But as we saw with the advice from Duala, that who's married to Apollo. So that's cool. Good, congratulations. That's great. But she kind of gave him that push. Like, listen, you are soft, and interesting the choice to have him put on a few pounds. I think most of us in that situation would probably put on some weight, right? That kind of depressed, losing hope, don't know what we're fighting for, or feeling like we don't have something worth fighting for, or at least facing a fight that we can win. So I kind of get that. As Adama is now inspired, thanks to Sharon. Hopefully that's a push to start in the right direction for Apollo to begin turning it around as well. That the connection to the ground crew, to be able to talk to the people on New Caprica, is a big, huge morale boost that we all needed. And I'm hyped to see where this season goes. I'm really interested to see where specifically the story of Caprica 6 and Boomer, where their story goes from here. It's interesting to kind of see some of the behind the scenes talk, even amongst the Cylon leadership, and how they have different opinions and views over where things would go. Cavill wanting them to take more extreme action, and Sharon or Boomer and Caprica kind of holding back the tension. I think even though their motivations might be right in a sense from a certain point of view, still it's messy, and I don't know what the right resolution is or should be. I know that the right solution isn't for the Cylons to come in and just take over and rule humanity in the interest of peace. That doesn't work. Anytime you have to force what you believe is right on someone else and make them do it, even if what you're trying to force them to do is right, it's not right. It's certainly not the right method. And so the Cylons obviously believe they're right, and they're trying to enforce their will and indoctrinate the humans to their way of thinking, I guess, in a sense. That's what I kind of feel like is going on there. And it's a big old mess. It's a big old mess. It's really heartbreaking to see Starbuck essentially in prison. Like, this is like a Beauty and the Beast situation. Like, what has Leo been trying to do exactly? I mean, obviously he's trying to get Starbuck to love him, but to what end? Does he really think he can just live happily ever after by forcing Starbuck to love him and spend her life with him? Does he maybe see what Caprica 6 feels, and is he trying to get that for himself? I don't know. I'm kind of gonna maybe assume that Caprica 6 and Gaius are together. I don't know if that's actually accurate or not, but we did see Caprica 6 talking to number 3 and talking about how she loves him, and that changes your perspective, which is true and accurate. Yeah, this show is continuing to bring incredible storylines and thoughts, and challenging my thought processes and way of thinking, which I love and I enjoy it. Please let me know your thoughts on this episode, and check out the next one, and I will see you there. Whew, I love this show, and I'm so glad that I get to watch it with you. Bye.